I've been thinking a lot lately about how different mediums really tell stories in different ways. I was thinking about that with video games. Obviously, I wrote a book about the game The Last of Us, so I'm very familiar with that game. And they announced that there's going to be an HBO show about The Last of Us. And I'm just not that excited because it's a different medium. Like, it might be okay. It's made by HBO. The showrunner's the guy who did that Chernobyl show. I mean, if there's any chance for this thing to be good, this thing has a good chance. Even though video game shows are never good, but who knows, maybe for once. But it's just gonna be different, you know? It's like, I don't wanna get too down on it. I'm sure it'll be okay and people will like it, but it's not gonna be for me. It's just not gonna be my thing. Because even if it's the same story, it just can't be told in the same way through a different medium. Like, for instance, with The Last of Us, it's, the first time you play through, it took me a pretty long time because I played it on a hard difficulty, but I think it probably takes most people about 12 or 13 hours. And that's 12 or 13 hours that the two main characters spend together, not even necessarily talking. You're just walking through this post-apocalyptic America and you're scrounging around for supplies and stuff, and you have little conversations here and there. And you build up this relationship between those two characters. And it's so neat because it's something that only a video game can do, like only a video game can have you spend that amount of time doing something relatively mundane, but it's exciting, it's not boring. But how would you do that in a TV show? Like, either the characters would spend a lot less time together, or they would spend all their time together constantly talking and just blah blah blahing to each other, so it wouldn't feel as natural and as slow and as organic, or it would be cripplingly boring, if they did just scrounge around. Like, that gets old fast in a TV show, but in a video game it's fine. Like, there is no one-to-one. You can't just put one story from one medium onto another medium, which is probably why video game movies and TV shows are always so bad, because you just can't do that. It's not that easy. You got to figure out something else to do, which what I would do is just something completely different. I'd say, fuck this. Why are we trying to make a video game into a movie? It never has worked and it never will work. But hey, good luck, guys. Or like in The Last of Us, this one scene I always think of, when you first go to Bill's town, it's this abandoned town where basically one guy lives. Like, he's set up the place with booby traps. He lives in the middle like the spider, and the whole abandoned town is his spider web. And as you go through that town, there's a part with an old record store. And if you go into the old record store and you hang around long enough, Ellie, the girl that The Last of Us is all about, she'll just start flipping through the records and asking about them and talking about them, because she grew up after the fall. She'd never been in a record store before. She's like, man, look at this is so cool. And the way that scene feels in a video game is so particular, like when I envision it in my mind, I'm not just envisioning that scene. Like in a show, here it is. Here's the scene where Ellie flips through the records and says something about them. And it's right there in front of you. It's flat. It's just, here's that scene. Here it is right in your face. Look at it. Where when I think about that scene in the game, I'm thinking of that whole environment. It's like, I know where the record store is. I know what the alleyway outside is like. I know that down the road from there's this other stuff. I'm like aware of the surroundings. I'm thinking about where bad guys might be. I'm thinking about where items and shit might be. And the whole thing can just happen almost haphazardly, almost just to the side. It could not happen at all. You could barely pay attention, or if you focus, you focus. You just don't have that in a TV show. The TV show decides what the focus is, and it can just never be the same. And that's a small example, but every single scene is going to be like that. Every single moment is going to be like that. So yeah, again, good luck, guys. Good luck. I sure wouldn't want to fucking try.